turning point would have been the 8-bit microcomputer being shipped out on the 26th of March. We took up this project of assisting the National Stock Exchange to come about. $125 million will go towards building 4 schools like this. We created the foundation with the purpose of transforming the social fabric.
Hi friends, there are many industrialists who earn in billions, but there are very few visionaries like Mr. Shiv Nadar who have thought of giving back to society. It's even rare for a person who came from a village with basic facilities and no exposure who became one of the pioneers of fastest growing IT firms and also to become the most generous philanthropist for 3 times in last 5 years. He has also received Padma Bhushan and Lifetime Achievement Award for his stupendous efforts. So what are the key turning points and highlights in Mr. Shiv Nadar's journey in creating HCL, the most aggressive IT company? Also, what are the larger than life achievements of this generous philanthropist? Finally, what are the key principles and profound lessons that we can learn from his journey? Before we discuss answers for each of these questions, I request you to subscribe my channel and share it with your friends. Now coming back, for some of you who might not know, Mr. Shiv Nadar was born in Thoothukudi district, deep south in Tamil Nadu. With 6 other colleagues, he was one of the first entrepreneurs in technology industry to set up Microcomp Limited in 1976. The most interesting fact is that they made India's first indigenously designed 8-bit microcomputer and shipped it from Noida. The same time, Apple shipped computer from Cupertino. Even IBM shipped their first PC only 3 years after HCL's shipment. Also, a lesser known fact is that they were the first to come up with EMI concept to sell computers way back in 80s, and it was a massive hit among SMEs. Now let's look at the grand vision Mr. Shiv Nadar had for his company. When HCL was created, Uttar Pradesh government had 26% stake in the company and they wanted the company to be named as Uttar Pradesh Computers Limited. But Mr. Shiv Nadar had a grand nationalistic idea and he wanted the company to be named as Hindustan Computers Limited to represent India. One of the biggest achievement of HCL is that they digitized National Stock Exchange by winning against bigger competitor AT&T. The other important highlight is that though HCL ventured into software services as a late entrant in the 90s, they are in top 5 in terms of market cap and headcount. Now before we go to the last section on business lessons from HCL founders, let's look at the phenomenal philanthropic efforts of Mr. Shiv Nadar in developing world-class leadership education institutions in India. Mr. Shiv Nadar has repeatedly mentioned that he wanted to give back to the society from where he came, but he was not like any other billionaire. So he chose sustainable investment model where HCL take dividends flow into family corporations, which flow into Shiv Nadar Foundation, which can ultimately be used to create institutions and universities which are sustainable in the long run. With this grand vision in mind, to revolutionize rural and urban education system, he started institutions in engineering and masters roughly 3 decades ago in India. These institutions with high qualified teachers are the best in the nation and they rank in top 50 among more than 4,000 engineering institutes in the entire country. Also, there is another important issue that got his attention. Rural-urban divide in India and the education system of Uttar Pradesh were 2 things he decided to act upon 14 years ago. He noticed that around 45% of 5th standard students don't know how to read English and 15% students in 2nd grade can't recognize letters. To address this big gap, he introduced interesting initiative named Shiksha way back in 2012, which is similar to today's YouTube and Zoom classes for students. This initiative provides online interactive support for students to learn content in an engaging manner. This initiative has been sustainable and it caters to 266 students with $4 million of investment. Also, he believed leadership quality is not restricted to urban elite population and there is a lot of potential to be tapped in rural India as well. With this concept, he introduced Vidya Gyan, which provides world-class facilities to talented students from rural India based on meritocracy. This successful initiative, which started with just 200 students 14 years ago, now houses 10 times the size, around 2,000 students in Uttar Pradesh, and has records of placing students in Ivy League colleges and government services. All these initiatives can be summed up by founders' belief that a country needs aspiration and meritocracy coupled with world-class leading institutions. Finally, we are entering the interesting part of the case study where we are discussing the key lessons which we can pick up from Mr. Shiv Nadar's journey. Firstly, founders should not go with fixed business plan, and their business plan must be adaptive and responsive to trends. To give an example, HCL started in hardware business, and then based on the trends, they shifted to software business, and it struck a gold mine for them. Secondly, one must not focus on short-term goals, but must develop 10-year long-term goals to ensure it's sustainable. Again, to give an example, HCL founder, whether it be business or social activities, always had a 10-year vision in mind, along with a 10-year plan and a 10-year budget allocation with a capable board to ensure that the project is sustainable in the long term. And finally, one must approach business with a warfare mindset, and they must pursue high ambitions with nothing held back and must give one's personal best. HCL over the last 50 years has been one of the fastest growing and diverse organizations, and not to forget, Mr. Shiv Nadar has retained the top spot in being the generous philanthropist 3 times over the last 5 years and has donated 5.6 crores in FY23. That's it from me for today, guys, and I have added the links for research materials in the description. If you find this video interesting, please subscribe my YouTube channel and share it with your friends, and these small actions will help and support my YouTube channel. I will meet you with another case study in next video. Until then, bye bye.